Hey everybody, this is Tracy here for another edition of A View from Tracy's Point, and we are here to recap To Rome for Love, Season 1, Episode 5, which was titled Breakups and Breakdowns. So on this episode, Diane and her team have planned a picnic in the park for the ladies, and they will allow each one of the ladies to invite one of the guys that they've met since they've been, in Rome, to join them for the picnic. And for, I think it was Mercedes and Ashley, they were going to, because they didn't have anybody, they ran everybody home, but they were going to invite people for them. So they arrive early to set everything up, and they have like this huge, it was like a spread or a blanket or something, but it was massive. It was covering the ground, and then they had like the big throw pillows and stuff on the ground, and it was real nice, and flowers, and they had champagne and everything set up for them. So I thought that was real cute date afternoon picnic thing they had going on. So after the initial gathering, the ladies, they're supposed to break off, with the guys that they invited, and then they had some little smaller setups for them and do their own little individual picnics. And then the park that they were at, had walking trails. They had horse and buggy carts, I think, and not carts, horse and buggy carriages, and then they had a lake where they could take a row your boat out into the water. So it was just like a really cute idea, real nice setup, but we'll see if the ladies were ready for it. So Diane and her team, they arrived first, of course, to set everything up, and they get to talking, and they all lounging out on the little spread that they got set up. And so the ladies began to arrive, as they talking, so they're like, oh my God, here they come. So they got to jump up and get all the flowers and the wrappings that the flowers came in, and throw that in the garbage. And then Diane, of course, fly girl as usual. I loved that sundress that she had. I think it was probably the colors of the country's flag. I think it was like red, white, and blue. I think it was like a real deep navy blue, but it was pretty. I like sundresses like that. So I'm just going to go through, each lady and their date and how, they were behaving and carrying on. Because we know there was some carrying on going on. So Gina and Claudia was her date. And so I don't really remember much about them when they were on their picnic. All I can remember was, I think it was like at the end of the evening or the end of the day, when they were getting ready to go back to the house, he tried to kiss her. And so then I guess she knew he was going to kiss her, so she tried to turn, because they do that cheek-to-cheek kiss. But Claudia wasn't trying to do a kiss like that. He was trying to kiss Miss Gina on her lips, and so she turned her head. And then when she got ready to turn to the other side, he went in for the kiss. And then she was like all taken aback, and she didn't like that. And that's all I really remember about Gina. Gina has been very uneventful on this season, and I don't even know why she came on the show. And next up, we have Nikita and Angelo. And what I tell y'all, if Angelo got on my nerves on the last episode, he sure enough wore me out on this episode. Because he has entirely too much energy, and he was just wearing on everybody's nerves, the people on the show and the people at home. Sick of Angelo. And I'm just like, is this man putting on for the cameras, or is he really this energetic in real life? And how does a person with that much energy have a successful relationship? And maybe that's why he agreed to do the show, because he can't find no woman that's willing to deal with that. And I just didn't find it cute in the least bit. And then by the end of the evening, Nikita was over him and she was tired of him. And when they all went back to the house after the picnic, everybody was sitting in the living room. And so he was just giddy, just talking. And then slowly they all migrated into the kitchen because Roberto, who was Shay's date, said that he was going to cook for them. So everybody just slowly, one by one, got up and went into the kitchen, and they left Angelo in the living room by himself, and he was sitting there like, I'm all alone now. Like, what? Is they coming back? Is Nikita coming back? But Nikita was like, I want to be anywhere but where he is. But when they were at the picnic, they were getting along good in the beginning, but then he decided he was going to take her on this boat ride. Remember, it was the row boat, wasn't no real boat with a motor or nothing like that. So when they get there and they get ready to get on the boat, and when I tell y'all, it's a row your boat type of boat now. Remember, Nikita ain't the smallest woman, so she was like, I can't swim. Now, the minute you say, I can't swim, that means you don't get in the water. That's how people be drowning. So when you said I can't swim, Angelo should say, okay, well, maybe we'll go do something else. Let's go do the horse and buggy ride. But no, he helped Nikita get into the boat, and she was sitting. So you know how them boats, they shape like this and go back. So she was sitting in the, what's it called, the bow of the boat? Is that the back of the boat? Or is that the front of the boat? Anyway, she was at the back of the boat. You know, they have just like the little wooden seats, like it's one in the back and then one in the middle. And then the one in the middle, I think that's where the person who's rowing is sitting at. So she's sitting there in the back of the boat. And Angelo, he can't sit down and be still. So he up, he down, he up and down. And she's like, you rocking the boat, you're going to make the boat tip over. And I'm black girl, I got weave and I can't get my hair wet. I'm just like, girl, why did you say that? Why? So Angelo, I don't know, he finally calmed down and sat down, and then I think he got up again. Then she grabbed the oars and she was like gonna row them back, and then they were about to crash into people. That thing was hilarious. Now that was hilarious, but it was also annoying the way that he was acting. And that's about all that happened with them. So then we go over to Ashley and Leo. So no, Leo was not Ashley's date for the picnic. Because Ashley has been so annoyed after searching his Facebook page and finding out, when she searched social media and found out he had a Facebook page. And so she decided that she's going to confront him because, when they had their little beach date, he was telling her about privacy and decorum, but he was laughing and happy in all the pictures on the Facebook page. So I'm like, am I missing, has the editing cut out, where they decided they were going to be in a committed relationship and they've been dating? Because all we seen was them meet and go to the beach that day. That's the only interaction we done seen with Ashley and Leo. But she decides that she's going to go and confront him. So before leaving for the picnic, she goes and meets up with Leo at his office. He shows her around. So then they decide that they're going to go get something to eat. So she's basically telling him about the Facebook page. And he says that he was on Facebook, but it had been 6 years. And the pictures that she saw were from 6 years ago. Now, I don't know about the Facebook over there in Rome, but the Facebook over here in America, it has the date of the picture or the posting. When you post, it has date and the year. Now, why was Ashley not to discern that those pictures were 6 years old? I don't know. But at the end of the day, why are you questioning this man about what he's doing? When he told you he was running for politica, he told you he was running for political office, that he had to act a certain way. He couldn't be out here, with dating women and kissing and carrying on, because that could cause a scandal. And if that doesn't work for you, then he's not the man for you. But then she got all serious with him and was like, so we're walking down the street. You can't hold my hand. No, I can't hold your hand. So we're walking down the street and you wanted to kiss me. You wouldn't reach over and kiss me. No, I can't do that. I told you I'm running for election. I can't do that. But I want to be in a relationship with somebody where if I just want to reach over and kiss him, I can kiss him. And you're saying that we can't do that. No, we can't do that. Well, let me ask you this. What comes first? And she kept doing like this. What comes first? So okay, Ashley. So she says, would it be your job or would it be me? So he said, well, right now my job come first. And I'm thinking, I know it does come first because y'all ain't in no relationship. And when this show get through filming, Ashley going back to America. And unless you plan on going to America with her, yeah, you better focus on your career. But Ashley was so hurt. And then when she told him that it wasn't going to work between them and that she, it was time for them to say their goodbyes, Leo was looking a little sad, like he was really hurt. And I'm thinking, Ashley, you may have went about that the wrong way. Like maybe y'all should have sat down, talk things over, and asked the man, did y'all have a future together? Was he feeling the same way about you? Because I can understand, with social media and everything, I can understand, like if you are a person, you're single and you're running for office, and you're dating means that you could be seeing multiple people. So now people are out taking pictures, and then when it gets close to the election, they're using that stuff against you, saying, oh, he's a playboy, he's a wild guy, he was kissing this girl, kissing that girl. So I can understand that part of it. Ashley, what I don't understand is, why were you so serious about this? I mean, Diane got all these men lined up to introduce y'all to. Why did you fall so hard, so fast for this one guy? And then you wanted to keep comparing him to your last relationship where you weren't even married to that guy. Talking about you don't want to be the trophy wife and all that. But were you the wife, or were you just the girlfriend or the fiance or whatever was going on? Anyway, so it ended with Ashley and Leo. So Ashley is all emotional. Then she get to the picnic, and she's being emotional at the picnic. And she tells, what's his name, Micah, that hurt her so bad, that she feels so bad, them breaking up. And I'm like, why do you keep saying y'all broke up when y'all were never in a relationship? I don't understand it. So I don't recall, just like I don't recall what happened with, I think Gina and Claudio went on the horse and buggy ride. I think I do remember that part about them. But I don't remember Ashley meeting anybody at the picnic. So y'all let me know down in the comments, did Diane bring somebody for Ashley to meet at the picnic? Because I don't remember. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to say about Ashley, the way Ashley was acting, I think this happens a lot, especially with people who have goals. And like their goal is, I'm going to start this business, or I'm going to go to college and I'm going to be a doctor, or I'm going to do this. Who have goals, and they have like their 2-year goal, their 5-year goal, their 10-year goal. I think people like that may have trouble in relationships because they end up dating people who don't see their vision, and then that relationship ends up taking them off track, and they never realize what it was that they were trying to do. And Ashley strikes me as the type of person that if a guy says, in 5 years, like I want to start this business, and in 5 years I want to be able to employ 10 people, and I want to have my own office and blah blah blah, she would be the type of woman that would interfere with that taking place, because she would want him to be spending time with her when he should be spending time with his business. Then she would be one to handpick who the 10 employees are because of her insecurities. And I just see it happens all the time where people they see the vision, they date guys for their potential, but they don't want to be a part of the process of them reaching their goals. And Ashley just strikes me as that type of person based on how she acted with Leo. So then we move over to Shay and Roberto. Now y'all, Shay woke up with a hangover, because remember the night before they was out clubbing and carrying on, and she was mixing the brown liquor with the white liquor with the white wine and the red wine. She was just drinking everything. So now she laying in bed, can't get up, got a hangover and everything, and says that she's not going to drink for a week. That she just going to chill out, get the alcohol out of her system. While we get to the picnic, and she already drinking. So when her and Roberto go over to their little private area, she notices that they had this container that was full of champagne that was on ice. And so she said, well, nobody's drinking that champagne. We need to go on over there and get that champagne. So now she done started drinking the champagne. And so I don't know if we're going to blame her behavior on the alcohol or not. But she showed her natural bone black ass on this episode. Y'all know I don't like the curse. But Shay showed that on this episode. So Roberto wanted to cook something for the house. You know, the picnic over, they back at the house. They sitting around talking. Angelo getting on everybody's nerves. They done ordered sushi. I think Shay ordered sushi, but she said she wanted to go out. But Roberto ends up in the kitchen because now Shay done went upstairs in her room or whatever. No, she went in the kitchen with him, but she was being nasty and everything, talking about, I want to go out, I want to go out. So he was like, okay, well, I'm going to cook something. So everybody in the kitchen, you know, excited. Roberto, the chef, is about to cook them something to eat, and now they ain't got to go out. And I think it was like 11 o'clock when it first started. So she goes into the room, and then Nikita comes into the room and asks her, you know, why are you acting like this? Your man in the kitchen, you need to be in there with him. You know, why are you doing this? And so she was like, I don't want him cooking for them. I want to get out this house. I want to get out that kitchen. I want to go out to dinner. So Nikita like, but it's late. Like, why can't you just enjoy the moment? But she was just determined that they was about to go out. So then she finally done had enough, and she goes in the kitchen and tell him, I need to talk to you, and I need to talk to you in private right now. Come on. So he was like, well, let me finish this. No, I need to talk to you now. So he was like, okay. So he gone in the room with her, and she get the neck rolling, fingers popping, carrying on, and Roberta had to tell her what we not going to do. This ain't what we about to do right now. You're not going to be raising your voice at me. You're not going to be rolling your neck. Well, he didn't say it, but we read, you know, through the line, between the lines, what he was saying. But he did tell her that the finger popping don't work with him. So he was laying down the law. I was like, all right, Roberta, check your girl. Check her. But Shay was like, and I'm sure it was some editing going on because it went from a very aggressive scene to where she was saying, I just wanted to go out to dinner. And he was like, well, we can go out to dinner, you know, and then he was caving in. But I think we had some editing going on to make it seem like he had succumbed to or caved in to Shay's behavior and her demands. But I don't think that that's what really happened. And so my feelings on Miss Shay, you know, everybody will talk about Shay got a strong personality, and we all know she got a strong personality. And I myself have a strong personality, but when it comes to my relationships, I don't want to have a strong personality because if I've taken care of the kids, I've gone to work, I've handled business at work, I'm holding stuff down. When I'm dating, when I'm with that man, I want him to take all that away. I don't want to have to argue, fuss, make decisions, or any of that stuff. Like, I want him to just be in control, take charge, say, hey, babe, this is what we're doing, this is where we're going, this is how this is going to happen. Let me take that from you, and I'll handle that for you. That's what I need in a relationship. And I don't know if I told you the story about when I was engaged to my youngest daughter's father. But let me tell you, I had to tell him everything. Like, he was a really nice guy, just, you know, very kind and compassionate, but he just didn't have that that I needed. And I can remember when he was going to move in. We were going to get married that December, that April. He moved in, you know, so we could save money for the wedding and everything. And I'm telling you, that was the best decision I ever made because I really got to see that side of him. Like, even though we had a child together already, I saw a totally different side of him when he moved in. And I mean, it was stuff like we had agreed that he was going to pay, because I had the house already. So he was going to pay the mortgage. I was going to pay the utilities. So we all know that in the summertime, the bills blow up, okay? So now we had like a $400 light bill. And he was like, well, no, I'm not going to help you pay that light bill because the agreement was I was going to pay the mortgage, you were going to pay the bills. So I was like, okay. So then I was supposed to have been having, I think it was my 40th birthday or my 30th. I know it was my birthday and I was going to have a party for my birthday. I think it was my 40th birthday. And the air conditioner went out like a week before the party. And it might have been 2 weeks before the party. So I said, okay, he's the man of the house. This is something mechanical that's going on. So I'm going to stand back, not say anything, because remember, I want that man that's going to take charge, take control, and take care of business. We was burning up in this house. I remember we are in Florida. In the middle of summer, the air condition has gone out. And I'm, like I said, I'm going to sit there and see how long it's going to take you because I can be petty at times as well. So it was like the week passed, we just suffering in this house. The kids like, oh my God, mama, do something, fix the air conditioner. And I'm still waiting on this Negro in my house to say, babe, I'm going to call the repairman. Or babe, I know a man that can fix air conditioners. He's going to come and check the air conditioner. So it's days before my party. I can't have people coming to my house and it's 110 degrees in the house. So I said, can you call a repairman to come and check the air conditioner? Oh, okay. So the people came. It was a fuse had blown. $2 fuse in the air conditioner. I was so mad. So that was strike number. Actually, that was strike number 2. Strike number 1 happened in July. So me and my friends had went to lunch, and I had driven. So when we got ready to come back to work, my car wouldn't start, so I had to call AAA to get us a jump and get us back to the job. So I called him and said, oh, when you get off from work, I had car trouble. Can you come get the car, take the car up to the shop for me so they can check it and see what's wrong with it? So he said, okay. So he came, got the car, took the car up to the auto mechanic, and then he came back, handed me my keys and handed me the estimate, and then him and my daughter jumped in the car and rolled. I was like, okay, I need a man that would have told the people, go ahead and fix that car, paid for it, blah, 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 called me and say, hey, take my car on back home, and when they finish up here, we're going on home in your car. No, he handed me my keys and he handed me the estimate, and he left. He didn't say, well, what you want to do? Do you need me to take you up there in the morning and make sure you get to work? I didn't get any of that. So that was strike 1. Strike 2 was the air conditioning. And then I can't remember something. No, I think he only had 2 strikes because I think by the time October rolled around, I woke up one morning and I just looked at him and I said, there is no way in God's earth, heaven, or hell am I going to spend the rest of my life with this person. I mean, he's a great friend. Okay, dad to his daughter, but there is no way I'm going to spend my life with him. And so I told him, I said, this isn't going to work. I don't want to get married. Let's just call this off. So he said, okay. So I think we both breathed a sigh of relief. But then February rolled around and I had to look at the joker again. I said, why are you still here? He said, well, what? We ain't going to be together no more? You just, no. No, we're not together. We're roommates at this point. There's no intimacy. There's no nothing. I need you gone. So I had to literally tell him, and that was the most hurtful thing to me, was to have to tell somebody to get out my house because, there's that whole stigma when the woman owns the house and you get together. So I was very mindful of that. I never wanted him to feel like this wasn't his home. So I think that's why I allowed him to stay as long as he did. And I was just like, okay, now I got to tell him you have to leave. And that was really hard for me. And I knew at that moment, I said, once he's gone, I will never let another man move into my house. And if I ever get engaged again, then we're going to have to buy another house together because that was just an experience within itself. But Shay, it's okay to have a strong personality, but when it comes to your relationship, you can't treat your man the way you treating them women in that house. And so Roberto seems like he's a very nice guy. He's a very compromising man. And I think out of all the women, Shay and Roberto seem to have the most, they could really work. I could see them actually ending up together. So then last but not least is my girl Mercedes. Okay, if Mercedes ain't my youngest daughter Shantae, I don't know what is. They are just so all over the place, so disrespectful to other people's feelings. When I'm watching that show, I be wanting to go online and say, Diane, if y'all cast for another show, can my daughter go on that show? Because when it comes to relationships, she is no holds barred. The guy would be here today. The next day, I'd be like, Shantae, what happened to so-and-so? Who? Remember the guy that drove the car that you said worked for the post office or whatever? What happened to him? Child, please. I'm like, okay. My daughter I don't know what they call themselves was doing. She had a neighbor at the apartment complex where she lived at, and so they was doing something. But they decided that they were going to get a dog together. So he was going to buy the dog. My daughter was supposed to help, like, walk the dog and help him take care of the dog and all this stuff. That poor dog lived 4 months because them two fools couldn't stop arguing with each other, and they were treating the dog like the dog was a child, and they was in a custody battle. So finally, when she moved back home, I said, well, Shantae, what happened to the dog? Oh, we took her to the down there to the dog shelter. I said, well, you know they're gonna kill the dog, right? She said, well, no, somebody adopt him. I said, honey, that's a pit bull. They ain't adopting that pit bulls at the animal shelter. They probably killed that dog. So you know she didn't care about the dog. She didn't care about the man either, right? So anyway, to Miss Mercedes. So remember, Diane was supposed to invite some folks for Mercedes and Ashley. We don't know who they brought for Ashley, but they had two guys for Mercedes. So the two guys show up, and so they had their little picnic area and everything, and they seemed like pretty nice guys. One of them had the man bun. Remember, she said she think the man bun is sexy, and then the other guy, he seemed to have like a strong personality that could deal with somebody like Mercedes. So Mercedes was talking to the one guy with the man bun. Then the other guy came. So then, she had to divide up her time. They went on a walk and they were talking and everything. So they get back to their little picnic setting. Then all of a sudden, here comes this black dude. So I'm like, where he came from? So she done met some guy named Kwame at the club the night before, 2 days before, and then invited him to the picnic, but didn't tell Diane, Cece, or Michael that this guy was coming. So Kwame was very confident. Kwame came and sat down on that blanket and just took over. Just took over like, I am here for Mercedes. Mercedes is here for me. So y'all need to go on. So he didn't tell them they needed to go, but his actions said, your services are no longer needed here. So the one she walked off and was talking to that seemed like he would have been a good match for her, he said, well, I got other things to do. So it was nice, enjoy your evening. So then the other guy, he was like, okay, because he was acting like the first guy with the man bun that she met in the earlier episode when remember they were at the party and Ashley spotted the black guys, and so her Mercedes left the boy and went down to the black guys, and he didn't know what to do. Well, that's how this other guy was acting. So when the first guy said he was going to get up and leave, then he said, okay, well, y'all have a nice evening. So, honey, Miss Mercedes and Mr. Kwame, they were like a match made in heaven, and they ended up spending the rest of the day together. And I was like, go ahead on Miss Mercedes. Now, y'all remember Mercedes got a list. What she wants. She wants tall, she wants dark, handsome, educated. And they got to love the Lord Jesus Christ. Well, honey, Kwame said he an atheist. So I was like, I remember that I told Mercedes she got to lower her standards. And not lower her standards, but she got to leave that list alone. So on this occasion, she was willing to put the list aside and not be bothered by the fact that Kwame don't believe in, well, he said he believes that there's a higher power. He just doesn't believe in the institution of Christianity with the church, because he's from Ghana, and he says in Ghana, they use religion to take advantage of people, like they do over here in the United States. So Kwame wasn't thinking about Mercedes and that stuff. He was engaging her in the Christian conversation and telling her his beliefs, and I respected that. So then when they went on the date later that night, they went to get something to eat. So that food, Mercedes was reading the menu, and she said, well, this spaghetti and seafood looks good, but spaghetti is just so basic. I don't want to order that. So it was almost like she was saying, I'm in this foreign country. I don't want to order what I would order when I'm home in Florida. So, I want to get something more extravagant. So Kwame was looking at her and was like, well, I think if you tell them that spaghetti is basic, that you're going to insult them, because this, spaghetti is an Italian dish. And so she was like, oh, okay. Like, girl, ooh, that ain't my daughter. That ain't my daughter. But anyway, those two hit it off, and I just like their camaraderie. And I think he asked, they got to talking about children, and he said he had several siblings. And then she said, oh, well, I got like 25 to 30. And he was like, well, dang, your daddy didn't know how to spell condom. So I was like, Lord. And then when she told him that her dad was a school principal, and he said, oh, well, was he trying to start a school? Like, why did your dad have all these doggone kids? And we want to know that also. And then the other thing about Mercedes was we found out that her dad actually died like 4 months before the filming of the show. And so she was going on and on and on about her dad and how her dad was, you know, so special. And I was trying to figure out was her mom and dad married to each other, and then these other kids were outside relationships, or did her dad have a bunch of kids before he met her mom, or how did all these kids come about? But anyway, she was a daddy's girl, and she was saying, you know, how her dad taught her so much, how he would take her out on dates and just, you know, open the door for her and everything. So I can really understand that, because I'm a daddy's girl, and my dad was my world. He was my world. So I think what people miss with Mercedes is that when you have a father in your life that taught you how a man is supposed to treat a woman, it's hard to go out and date somebody who's less than what your father was. And so what Mercedes is going to have to learn, which is the same lesson I had to learn, is that it's unfair to hold men at the same level that you hold your father, because they will never be able to live up to your father. Never. Because your father is really willing to overlook the stupid stuff you do, your little idiosyncrasies, whereas that man ain't gonna overlook that. And you have to meet people where they are and show them that, you know, what you expect as a woman. And if that isn't who they are at that moment, it's who they can become once they get to know you and they fall in love with you and they want you to be happy. So next to Shay and Roberto, Kwame and Mercedes, they're the second couple that I could really see, like, oh my God, this could really go somewhere. And actually, when she met Kwame at the club, Diane had actually set that up for her to meet him. So it was bad that she didn't tell them that she had invited Kwame, because then she had to be disrespectful to the other two guys who were like there to help her out, you know. So all that could have been avoided. But then I guess that would have we would have lost the tension in that moment and not have been talking about Mercedes in this episode. So, Cece, I will need you to get your girl, since you say you like Mercedes. We're going to assign Mercedes to you and let you handle this from here on out. But I have to say that this was the best episodes thus far, and I'm hoping, like, my whole opinion from the beginning of the show is so changing, and the show is really becoming entertaining. I'm liking where they're going. I'm liking how they're showing just the complexities of dating and how we all got to give and take to make it work. And Miss Diane, if y'all do a To Africa for Love, I might need to join that casting call, because Kwame had it going on, okay? So, guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Rate the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And until the next time, I shall talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.